Welcome back. Uh, I'm going to talk to you on this video about where your file goes when you save it. Now, by default, it goes to a default directory. When you press Save As, you can save the scene file to a specific location, but all the files that support it, for instance, your textures, will still go to the default directory, but you can change that so you can have access to those specific uh, files, those specific folders, so that if you have more than one project going, you don't have to worry about those projects interfering with each other or or those folders getting too cluttered with all this stuff. You can kind of keep things tidy, or at least not quite as you know not quite as cluttered. But of course, I haven't worked on anything too big that would get super cluttered. But I can only imagine that with with some really complicated scenes and some projects, that things can get really bad really fast. But I I myself have a a few a few files. Sorry, a few different places that I keep projects. As I said in my first video, I have worked on. I've tried to learn this program on two different books, which you can, you can see, and also Lenda.com. There was another site. I can't remember what it was, and I also bought a video series on Amazon once, and that didn't work out either. But anyway, I have my work here, but for these for these videos, I'm gonna make my own folder. As hard as it might be to believe, to do that, you first get into the main directory that you want the folder to be in, just like with any other uh, program, like when you want to save a file and say Word. Now, I normally I would show you how to actually get to this box, to get here first, but I didn't want to show my computer directory. I'm sure that doesn't really matter all that much, but still, I just don't feel comfortable with it. So I'll show you how to get to this point at the end of the video. What button to push, but it really isn't all that hard. Uh, in any case, so let's make a new folder, and you can see, as I said, it's in the 3ds Max folder that I've created a while ago, and okay. So So uh, this is obviously how I go about naming my folders and files, pretty much. But not always. When I do certain, there are times when I change things about, but this technically isn't really the way you should do this because one thing, computers don't really care if something is capitalized or not. They tend not to be case sensitive, and it's usually considered proper etiquette to, instead of using a space, to use a dash. I mean, not what to a hyphen rather. Um, and again, all lower caps. That's what is considered proper etiquette when or what that's the considered the proper way to be naming your files and folders and on computers. But that's just how I do it typically. Now I have no problem really doing that if I'm sharing a file or or turning in a project for school or something. But that's just how I normally do things. So let's hit enter there, and now, as I'm sure you would expect, that this folder it's empty, and as you can see, there's no plus or minus. That's because it is completely empty. We can look in here. Oops. This is what will automatically generate when we hit the OK button. So let's do that now. And that's pretty much it as far as setting up the directory. Okay, so to get to that point, you just click here, and well, it'll open that dialog box that you saw a little earlier, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here we are back, and back in this dialog box, and I haven't done anything to this folder besides hit OK, and as you can see, all these files have generated. Let's go to scenes real quick. Well, obviously you can't because nothing is there. As I said, the only thing that looks like has something at all is this folder here. And these are just look like they're just empty folders waiting to be to be filled. So uh, that should hopefully get you set up so that when you actually create something, you can actually start up, make your own directories and find things easy. But other than that, once you had this set up, then, which actually I'm going to cancel this because as I said, it's already set as my new default, so there's no point. There's no need to save it anymore. But but as your needs dictate, you will want to set it up in a place that makes sense to you. And as I said, depending on your project, you might need to set up several locations or several project file main folders to put your various projects into. But now, if I were to make an object and save it, give it a name and just hit. Well, I'll hit save. It'll ask, file name and basic stuff like that, real standard stuff. If you've ever saved anything, again, like in Word or well, pretty much anything, if you save it, it'll ask you basically the same basic stuff. But it'll have that directory set up in advance, so you don't even have to bother with that. You can just type in the name of the file and hit OK, and that's it. That's all you have to do. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.